I'm drifting on faith, so I let my head down. I'm leaning on this diet road, go hand me down. I'm picking it up, cold waiting, can't seem to find time waiting on the sunshine. I'm picking it up, cold waiting, can't seem to find time waiting.
Good morning, guys. Welcome back to another video, and welcome back to another full day of eating, because those are absolutely the best. I love sharing what I eat on a daily basis. It's actually awesome. But today we are talking about intermittent fasting, something that I've slowly kind of implemented into my lifestyle. The current time is now 11 o'clock, which means we have about another hour and a half to 2 hours before we have our next meal. We just finished our insanity workout, and don't know what happened, but something's like wrong with my hamstring / calf area. So I'm gonna do some foam rolling, but also do a light circuit with the dumbbell. If you guys missed that video, link is now on the screen. Check it out. But let's foam roll and let's do a little bit of a circuit.
Watch me take my time, watch me play slow. Ain't no Mr. Man can tell me no. I ain't picking it up, cold waiting, can't seem to find time waiting on the sunshine. I ain't picking it up.
All right, so the current time is 11:45. We still have some time before we actually break our fast. So what we are gonna do is have some coffee just to kind of suppress our hunger for a little bit before we actually have our first meal. And so let's talk about what is intermittent fasting, right? You know, since the quarantine started, for me personally, it's something I implemented just because I found it to just kind of help me control like how much I'm eating per day. So like I mentioned in one of my previous videos, I'm actually doing 2 to 3 like larger meals, and I'm hitting my caloric intake on a daily basis. And I actually like it personally. So there are some extremes, right? Because intermittent fasting, there's 3 variations. I actually had no idea. They have the 16-8 method, which is what I'm currently doing, where you fast for 16 hours and then you eat within the 8 hours, or you eat within an 8-hour window, and you have all your calories within that 8-hour window, which is what I'm currently doing, and then I fast for the rest of the hours. Obviously, within those 16 hours, I'm sleeping. Now, there are 2 other extremes. I'm looking it up right now just because I had no idea that this is something that intermittent fasting involved, and it's called the Eat Stop Eat method, where it involves fasting for 24 hours, once or twice a week. I can't even imagine not eating for a full 24 hours. I'm already easily irritable when I'm hungry. If I didn't eat for 24 hours, I don't know what I would do. Like I don't know. That's not a good idea. And the other method is the 5-2 method, where you consume only 500 to 600 calories on 2 non-consecutive days, but eat normally the other 5 days. That sounds interesting. Not something that I'm probably gonna do, just because I like my current intermittent fasting method. I like the 16-8 method. And the reason I like it actually is because, to be honest, I focus more on just hitting my caloric intake. And for me personally, that means being in the caloric deficit. I like the fact that I'm only focusing on just 2 things. 1, hitting my caloric intake, which means being in a caloric deficit. And that's the goal for today, is to hit 2,300 calories, but also focus on my protein and making sure I hit at least to 180 to 185 grams of protein for the entire day. You know, most times when you watch my full day of eating videos, you're thinking, well, you can track your carb, track your fats. And I'm not concentrating on those things anymore. I like completely threw that idea of counting every single macro and tracking every single macro out the window, because I'm just focused primarily on 2 things. But I find myself to be less stressed out about, oh, I can't eat this or I can't eat that, or it doesn't fit within my macros, just because I know personally I have just 2 goals in mind: protein, calories, protein and calories. There's no set stone of how to perform intermittent fasting. You do what works for you. If you're somebody who likes to wait until later in the afternoon, skip breakfast and have something later on and eat later on in the day, do it. But if you're somebody who maybe likes to wake up early, eat breakfast early, and not have dinner late, then skip dinner, right? Like, you're not gonna have dinner at 8, 9 o'clock. Have dinner at 5, 6 o'clock and fast until the morning. So ultimately, it is what works for you, and that's my recommendation. If you are gonna do intermittent fasting, make it a way that works for you, right? Because ultimately, when you're following a diet, when you're doing anything that involves weight loss, you need to make sure that it suits your needs, suits what you're looking to accomplish, and that it doesn't feel like you're doing anything out of the norm, anything that kind of creates a bad, like, I guess, relationship with the diet, right? Because ultimately you want to build something that's sustainable, something that allows you just to continue doing something on a day-to-day basis and not put much of a thought process behind dieting or eating or anything like that. Because ultimately, if you start like stressing yourself out, fuck, why is my car going off? I swear, man, my fucking car, it has a mind of its own. It knows I'm recording and it decides to go off. But ultimately, as I was saying, if you are going to do intermittent fasting, do it the way that you would like. Make sure that it fits your needs, fits your wants, and that ultimately you're not stressing yourself out about dieting in general, just because it's just going to create a bad connotation with just dieting, eating, and that's the last thing you want to do. Is you want to make sure you do things that you enjoy, things that makes your life just a little bit easier. So we are going to we are going to drink our cup of coffee, and then I'll catch you guys for meal number 1, in which it's just going to be breakfast. I love breakfast. I can never not have breakfast in a day, because, and I know that was a little negative, but I need to start the day with breakfast, whether it's at 9 o'clock in the morning or 1 p.m. in the afternoon. I need to have breakfast. Doesn't matter. Thanksgiving. Meal number 1 is ready. It's actually currently 1:30. I actually ended up holding off just a little bit longer, just because I knew like I actually wasn't super hungry like that, and the coffee kind of held me down. But we are having our usual eggs and oats. Honestly, it's a very good mix. It's high in protein, and also it keeps me very full and very satiated, because the oats and the eggs combined together just kind of keep you just really full. Now, typically I do like a bagel or something with some cream cheese, but today we're opting for some pancakes. Don't know that I'm gonna be as full as I usually am, just because the pancakes, they're not really that much in carbs, or there's just not generally a lot of food in general. But we're gonna have that, enjoy that, and of course, we don't drink our calories. We're using Walden Farms 0-calorie sugar, 0-calorie syrup. Just works out in our favor. But we are gonna eat breakfast. The calorie count, macros, everything is on the screen now for this meal. We're gonna enjoy this, and I'll catch you guys in a second.
Turn me over right away. So I was like, I know that shit probably costs like $10.
Right.
Oh. About to drop something on you. Got it on camera.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. I know that personally, some people might not feel comfortable having their barber come to their house and give them a haircut. But honestly, for me personally, I just feel like I look like a different person without a haircut. I feel good, I feel better. It gives me more confidence, and I feel like now I can record with a peace of mind knowing that you guys are looking at somebody who looks presentable. And I don't know if that's maybe just a mental thing for me, but I just think that if you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you play good. If you play good, you pay good. So I'm sorry, but I had to do it, and I know I might receive some hate, like social distancing. I agree, social distancing, and I do a great job of doing that. Myself and Opie always keep ourselves away from people, but I need a haircut. It's the same as like, you gotta go to the supermarket and get your groceries. I need to get a haircut as well. So for meal number 2, the current time is 4:38. So when it comes to lunch, it's a little more different, a little more difficult, just because a lot of times we cook enough food the night before to have food the next day. And so for me personally, I'm usually the one that ends up eating a lot of the leftovers, just because it's just me. And so pretty much what we are gonna have for today is leftovers from yesterday. We do have our Brussels sprouts. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we're gonna have a good amount of Brussels sprouts, just gonna fill up on veggies. And usually this is something that I like to eat like about an hour and a half to 2 hours before we go out for a run. As an update on my leg, I don't know that I'm gonna go out on a run today. I might just go for a walk because like the back of my hamstring slash like calf is extremely tight, and like, you know that feeling when you have like a lot of like I guess scar tissue just built up? That's what I feel. I did a lot of foam rolling yesterday, and I think it really just kind of killed like the back of my leg and my hamstring and calf. So I still have to stretch it out a little bit more. So I might just do a walk instead of a run today, unfortunately, but whatever. We're also gonna do some broccoli here. Now this broccoli, Opie made it with a little bit of a Parmesan cheese. I think she got the idea from Omar because we went to, because Omar's been making this Parmesan broccoli thing that looks amazing. So I guess she decided to try it. We're also gonna have just a small serving of sweet potato, nothing too crazy. That'll be our carb source. I am weighing out everything, but I'm not counting the macros behind the carbs, behind the fats. I'm just eating, making sure I hit my protein goal and hitting my calories. So I'll look at what I've had, input it into like my MyFitnessPal as I normally would. As long as I'm still within my calorie count, I'm gonna eat the food and not really think twice other than making sure I hit my protein goal. And then for our protein, we are gonna have salmon. Yeah, I'm gonna do at least one piece of grilled chicken with the salmon just to add some protein. Again, my main focus a lot of times on my diet is just to make sure I hit my protein goal. Everything else now is just kind of secondary. So you guys hear that siren in the background? I am convinced that that is the coming of the zombie apocalypse because it goes off every single day, and it's like, yeah, they're trying to warn me that a zombie apocalypse is coming. You know, you had Corona, you had everything that's going on with Iran. What else did we have this year? There's a whole bunch of shit that happened this year, and I feel like the Hornets. The Hornets is another thing. Yeah, the cherry on top is gonna be zombies. So now that that's over, like I mentioned, I am still measuring everything because I feel like that's still very important to help you guys understand what you're having calorically, but I'm not looking at the macros. So I would still input everything I normally would into MyFitnessPal, but I'm not inputting the information looking at the I'm not looking at the macros. Let me clarify. I'm not looking at the macros specifically. I'm just looking at how much food I've consumed and how much protein I've consumed as well. I just feel like it's very important to distinguish the difference, right? Because it's very easy to get lost in trying to count your macros. And we'll do another video about that, just whether or not you should be counting macros. Again, input it as you normally would into MyFitnessPal, but again, just worrying about two things: calories and protein. Calories and protein. Because ultimately, as I always preach, if you want to lose weight, you got to be in a caloric deficit. So, but we are going to eat lunch right now. Probably go for a walk in maybe like an hour and a half or so. If I can run, maybe I'll run. Doubt I'm going to do that today just because of the way my leg is feeling. Jesus Christ, that hurts. But I'll catch you guys in a second. So the current time is 6 o'clock and I am actually a little bit hungry. And I guess it's because I didn't really eat as many carbs as I usually do. So what we are going to have next is, of course, I know I don't drink many of my calories, but when I do, I of course opt for chocolate milk because honestly, great source of protein, easy carbs, and honestly it's easy source of calories as well because I'm actually lower than I usually am today. So we are gonna have some chocolate milk, just one serving, nothing too crazy, and then we're gonna go for a walk because today is beautiful outside world. I miss you so much. Today's like 80 degrees outside. The fact that many things are closed really just kind of sucks. It really just adds that burden of knowing that you're under quarantine and you can't go out and just enjoy like this great weather, right? It's like a great day to just go to like a pier, go to the beach, whatever the case may be. But of course we're still trapped at home. But chocolate milk, walk, catch you guys in a second. Came back from our walk, and as you guys can tell, it's a little dark out, and it's because your boy fell asleep on the couch before he was supposed to go on for the walk. Hope he was upstairs just minding her own business, and all of a sudden it was like 7:45 and I'm like, damn, like we still have to go for a walk. So we did come back home a little bit later than we probably would have liked to. Typically we probably come home around like 8:30, have dinner, but today we're having dinner a little bit later. It is 9 o'clock right now. which is still within the window, right? Still within our 8-hour window. And even if I went over it, who cares, right? Like if I'm over by 30 minutes to an hour, I'm not gonna not eat, right? I'm not gonna say, no, I can't eat. It's fasting hours. Like, no, there's no, again, strict rule saying that I can't eat by after a certain time. So we are gonna prepare pizza. We are doing DiGiorno's 3-meat pizza. Pop that in, and we're probably gonna have a protein shake directly after that, just to make sure we hit our protein goal. We have enough calories left in our day just to enjoy a nice couple slices of pizza, and that's what we're gonna do. So I'll catch you guys once this pizza is ready and cut. Got ourselves some pizza. It's pizza night, and that's a good amount of pizza for dinner. Probably not gonna fill me up too much, but I'll take pizza. Who doesn't love pizza? And of course, for beverage, Gatorade Zero. So we're gonna eat dinner, and I will catch you guys to wrap up the video. So we are gonna end the night with our protein shake, just to make sure we hit our protein goal, or at least close to it. The final, I guess, calorie count / macro count for today is now on the screen. But that is gonna be a wrap for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, make sure you leave the video a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
Mother lover, you gon' love this. Graduated from a rebel to a revolutionary in my area, they love this. I'ma wreck it like I'm revving the engine, heaven's ascension, every dimension, give me attention. Look at my soul, look at my heart, look at my hope. Got the world on my back, but I carry it though. Tell them God got my hand, I ain't let